We are down to the wire on Capitol Hill, of course, as Congress seems to be racing toward a government shutdown. Senate Democrats vowing to block any short-term spending bill that passed in the House last night. The vote passed 230 to 197. The main stumbling block is DACA. Speaker of the House, Paul Ryan, said yesterday Democrats are the only thing standing in the way of a budget deal.
Senator Schumer, do not shut down the federal government. It is risky. It is reckless, and it is wrong. I ask the American people to understand this. The only people standing in the way of keeping the government open are Senate Democrats.
I'm not trying to play for political points, even false ones. I am trying to get us to come together on a bipartisan nature to get something done.
Now, if a deal does not emerge by midnight tonight, the government will partially shut down. In terms of a partial shutdown, Brian, the Senate, is it going to pass the spending bill? I mean, it's all up to the Senate.
Look, I'll say it again. I really do not think Senate Democrats want this to pass.
Yeah.
They are looking at the news cycle right now. They're looking at the effects of tax cuts, which they lambasted, and they're seeing headline after headline that says worker pay is going up, retirement savings going up. They don't want to deal with that because they think that's going to undermine their chances in 2018. So I actually think they welcome this shutdown to get the news off of what's going on with the tax cuts.
Right, and what they're hoping is that it is going to reflect poorly on Republicans, and that's going to help them in the midterms. It gives them an opportunity to focus on their projects, their pet projects. But the question is, could it backfire? And I think it actually could. Because
I think so, too.
You know, as I was saying before, I think the American people go, why can't you get your act together? I don't think it looks good for anyone if the government shuts down.
Especially, Leah, as so many people are getting $1,000 bonus checks.
Right.
And they're getting now an increase in their 401k contributions. Yeah. And they're getting a higher minimum wage when you look at what Walmart did. And you're looking at what Apple did. They're going to be investing $350 billion in the next 5 years. Yeah. People are feeling better. They're about to see it in their paychecks, Connell. And so the obstructionism, I don't know that this is going to work this time.
I mean, I honestly don't know either. I mean, I'm not a smart enough political strategist to figure this one out, but I think there's a really good argument on the Republican side on both ends of this. Like, you know, on one hand, you cut a deal, right? And even on DACA, I know that's not going to happen now, but last week, say, you're having that conversation. You cut the deal. Even a majority of Trump supporters seem to be in favor of that. You get some money for border security, and you move on, and you keep the news cycle focused on what you want it to be focused on, right? So you're talking about the higher stock market. You're talking about a better economy. But in speaking, and you probably see this too, Maria, in speaking with people who are familiar with the way the White House kind of sees things, I think there is a line of thinking. I see this argument as well. Now is the time we take a stand and we really call the Democrats out, and the president and his party can come out of that benefiting politically. Yeah. So, I mean, I definitely see both sides of that. I'm not really sure.
And both sides are now sort of tugging at the heartstrings of what their constituents will be interested in, right? Because we weren't hearing, and I've been talking about continuing resolutions on this show and how they are hurtful to the military over and over and over again. And now you're hearing a lot of these policymakers bring up the continuing resolution and try to make the point that it's damaging to the military, and it is. And that's something
Isn't
that
the military good to go, though, in terms of payment, depending on the time of the month it happens? You know, in terms of when a military members get paid and things like that?
Yes, but overall answer would be yes, but it also depends on what kind of service they do. If they're like on temporary duty orders, there's more that goes into it than that. And I'm not an expert on military pay, but the point being, you hear military leaders talk about the effects of continuing resolutions and funding the military that way. Yeah. It puts them on last year's budget. They can't plan, and the military, being the strongest military in the world, is all about being able to plan your programs out and know what money you're going to have in the future so you can do it. And then when you're sort of short on money, it comes down to readiness dollars. What they're going to do is they're going to put forward those ships, those aircraft, those service members that need to be deployed around the world right now for the current operations. Yeah. But then what ends up getting hurt is the people who are supposed to be being prepared.
Leah, go through sort of where the deficiencies are, because, you know, we have this conversation with General Jack Keane all the time about 50% of the planes in the Navy are unflyable. The fact that, you know, some of the equipment is so antiquated. Where are the biggest needs in terms of the military upgrades that we need to see?
Well, the biggest needs, I think, as I was saying, are in being able to plan for those military modernization programs, and then also just having the dollars to be able to do the training. And when you get a new program, you need to be able to train your military to be up to speed on it. But you only have to look as far as some of the accidents that we've seen with ship-to-ship collisions, where the points that are being brought out are people didn't get the training that they need. These ships aren't getting out to sea when they are not actually needed operationally. They're not getting the training, and so it comes down to the overall picture. It's not really specifically one program or another. It's the whole picture that you're just putting a big clog in the system that the military needs to be able to be strong and to run the way it does.
You would think both sides want that.